What you see is what you get. What are the underlying paradigms that produce these kinds of results? Efficiency, control, management, competence, chronos. Are these accurate maps of the territory? Do they fulfill the expectations they create around quality of life? The very fact that we invest increasing effort in techniques and tools based on these paradigms, and that the fundamental problem remains in many cases, in fact it's exacerbated, is a good indication that the basic paradigms are flawed. Think back to some of the concerns we identified earlier. My life is hectic. I'm running all day. Meetings, phone calls, paperwork, appointments. I push myself to the limit, fall into bed exhausted, and get up early the next morning to do it all again. My output is tremendous. I'm getting a lot done, but I get this feeling inside sometimes. So what? What are you doing that really counts? I have to admit, I don't know. The within is ceaselessly becoming the without, said James Allen, author of the classic As a Man Thinketh. From the state of a man's heart proceed the conditions of his life. His thoughts blossom into deeds, and his deeds bear the fruitage of character and destiny. Understanding these underlying paradigms of time management is vitally important because our paradigms are the maps of our minds and hearts out of which our attitudes and behaviors and the results in our lives grow. It creates something of a see-do-get cycle. The way we see our paradigm leads to what we do, our attitudes and behaviors, and what we do leads to the results we get in our lives. So, if we want to create significant change in the results, we can't just change attitudes and behaviors, methods, or techniques. We have to change the basic paradigms out of which they grow. When we try to change the behavior or the method without changing the paradigm eventually overpowers the change. That's why attempts to install total quality or empowerment in organizations are unsuccessful. They can't be installed, they have to be grown, they emerge naturally out of the paradigms that create them. Changing a planning tool or a method won't create significant change in the results we're getting in our lives, although the implied promise is that it will. It's not a matter of controlling things more, better, or faster. It's questioning the whole assumption of control. As Albert Einstein said, the significant problems we face cannot be solved by the same level of thinking that created them. More essential than working on attitudes and behaviors is examining the paradigms out of which those attitudes and behaviors flow. The unexamined life is not worth living, observed Plato, but the number of people who come out of our leadership development programs saying, I haven't doubts that deeply in yours is astonishing. As human beings, we're trying sometimes with disastrous results to run our businesses, raise our children, teach our students, be involved in relationships without giving serious and careful consideration to the roots out of which the fruits in our lives are growing, and somehow time management is something of a mechanical skill segmented from these virtual things we spend our time trying to do. The need for the fourth generation. One thing's for sure, if we keep doing what we're doing, going to keep getting what we're getting. One definition of insanity is to keep doing the same things and expect different results. If time management were the answer, surely the sheer abundance of good ideas would have made a big difference by now. But we find that concerns about quality of life are just as likely to come from someone with a high level of time management training as from someone without it. Time management, especially the short generation, sounds good. It gives the promise of achievement, a sense of hope, but it doesn't deliver. And for many people, the pinnacle short generation approach feels rigid, structured, and unnatural. Say intensity is hard to maintain. So first thing many do when they get ready to go on vacation is to leave their planners, say symbols of the short generation at home. There's clearly a need for a fourth generation, one that embraces all the strengths of generations 1, 2, and 3, but eliminates the weaknesses and moves beyond. This requires a paradigm and an approach that is not different by degree, but in kind a fundamental break with less effective ways of thinking and doing. More than an evolution, we need a revolution. We need to move beyond time management to life leadership, to a fourth generation based on paradigms that will create quality of life results.